Hey, so good evening guys, it's 5:13 p.m. Today is September 27th. So let's start with the notes. Okay, so this week, right, so we will focus more on intraday price action. See, until yesterday I said buyers and then sellers, right? But today I said we will focus more on intraday price action, this entire week now, without worrying about too much about bias, and we are open to take both sides, but we have to avoid greed and take profit at each R or S, right? If we see slight weakness, right? So what that means is, let's say you took a short, right, and then price is going down, 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 down. By looking at it, you may think, okay, you know what, let me hold it, continue to hold, it's going to tank, right? But it is approaching a good support. You have to take a profit. You can't hold it for longer, and same thing goes for long, right? And you can see today is a prime example. The way it opened, and when price moved higher, we took a long, right? But then I bail out, right? When ES hits the resistance, a good one, right? Preferred sellers area. NQ also hit the preferred sellers area, right? So I bailed out. But everything was pointing up at that point, right? AD was like super bullish, right? It looks like a 10-day up, right? Looks like a situation was that, right? Wide gap up. But look what happened. Price came down, all the way down, right? And made a new low. See, this is what that greed means, avoid the greed, right? So that is what exactly it means, So I knew it may happen, So this entire week, you may get trapped, if you don't take a profit, and you will give back your profit to market, And once you get a profit, do not bother to trade again for that day. Come back next day. Otherwise, you will end up losing money, So overall, sellers are in control below 39.33. That's a general statement, right? NQ also general statement. And these are the levels, right? That one of this level will give us a trade, And NQ also same thing, right? So levels are in the chart, by the way, right, which is right here, levels and all these notes are in the chart, right? And you can see it, by the way. Today's preferred sellers area was this, which became the high of the day, right? And then NQ preferred sellers area was this, right? And that's become also high of the day, right? And then aggressive buyers area was this became the low of the day, So okay, so now let's go dream number, right? 460 and 424. See, I love my dream numbers. I took a long right at dream number pretty much, when I see a price bouncing, boom, I took it, right? And hunting levels, ES hunting level 06 became the low of the morning, right? And say this thing also became the low of the morning. Basically, right of the open, it bounced from this area. So that gave us a clue. And also we discussed this thing in the pre-market also, right? Pre-market voice, we talked about 06 and to observe, and then 1617, right? Even in pre-market, actually I said 06 will bounce, and in pre-market I said 460, here price may bounce, right? So I took this long also in pre-market, just to test it out, but I bailed out right here, right here, because I knew 490 500 area can act as a resistance. So does 1617 area, right? So I drew a box here right in the morning, right? So you have to remember the 1617, right? That memory you have to keep it, right? Same thing here also, you have to keep it 490 500, right? So, and then I said, whatever happens, if price goes above this, below this, like this, then sellers. Otherwise, buyers, it will be this range in the morning, of the open to look, right? Then what happened? Of the open, ES came to 06, right? And then it bounced, correct? It was holding actually. While NQ came to dream number right here, so because of this arrow, you can't see it, but it came right to the dream number, right? And then I was watching, right? Remember I said watch 460 and 06. One is the dream number, one is hunting level, right? And overnight you already know price was stepping up. So when it came down here, and when you see a bounce, right? I went long right there, and I said if ES goes above 10, it will go to 16, 17, So I took the long ES instead of 06 because I can't do both, right? I took a long ES little bit later because ES was struggling in the morning. NQ was like touch it and boom, right? So I took NQ long, right? And then 537 I bailed out NQ. ES I bailed out at 1617, and then ES story was done. You know, I manage only NQ at that point, no ES, right? Because I didn't want to manage both. So then what happened? Then I said, then I actually took long on the way up. You know, when it was going up, I took the I bail out here, you know, right here, you know, and then again when I see price going higher, I took a long, I bail out here, right? And then once it closed above it, I even took a long at 537, and in Discord I said watch 537. If it holds it, it will touch this blue line. So I took that long also. When it touched the blue line, I was watching ES, right? Because ES was right here at that time, you know. So I said, so I that's why I took the long, because ES is going to tag this area one way or other way, you know, because it was so close by. So that will allow NQ to go a little bit poke higher, right? So that's where I bailed out both together, like ES. So not ES actually, but it's a bailing out situation here. Both touch the preferred sellers area straight up, right? Now at that point everything was pointing to the upside. Internals were super bullish, super strong, right? So there is no need to bail out actually, in a way, you know, by looking at this price, right? But remember, the structurally the price action is different, you know. So again, as usual, I got a phone call. So I forgot the link now where I was. Yes, so I was there. Yes, I remember now. So everything looks good, right? So see, these are the days, you know. Some days are like this, you know. So if you look at this, right? So let me zoom it a little bit. And you will run into this situation where you have to decide, you know, what to do, you know. But it's always given, you know, like before even day starts, you always know, you know, something is there, you know. So if you look at this price action, right, internals were super bullish. You can see the AD was even like 2000 plus, right? And gap up situation, correct? Wide gap up, open drive, right? Everything was pointing to the moon, right? But look what happened after that. See that? So it's a base thing, you know, based on when you go into the day, you know, then you need to know what kind of day could be today, you know. So, and as I said, right, no greed. So if you have a target and if your price hits certain levels, right, key levels, you never know whether it's gonna go through it or somebody will step in. Overall sellers are active, right? So they may step in, who knows? And they may step in at least for back to, let's say, 16, right? So why give up that much profit? So that's why you have to take a profit at the first test always, you know, good resistance, you take it. So you go long here, you take a profit, right? Same thing, ES, NQ, you go long here, you take a profit into any of this blue line, right? And then you wait. If price wants to go higher, let it go higher, pull back, you go long, you know. So if it doesn't go higher and if it gets a rejection, right, then it better hold this 1617, simple, you know. NQ, you better hold this 537 or at least Globex high. If it doesn't do that, something is off, you know. Then you can even take a short also, you know. But short in today's context, you can't take it here, you know, the moment it goes down like this, right? Like below 16.7, you can actually take a short right here, right? But it's super risky because ES was holding above 06. As long as it is above 06, the day's context wise, it is supporting buyers. Below that, yes, you can short, you know. Same thing goes for NQ 460. So when it came down here, right, even you can try to attempt a long at 460 again because internals were holding strong at that point, right? ES was also same thing, right? So you can even go long here, you know. So which was this long I'm talking about right here, right? This long, and then it went higher, right? But here you have to be watch out that 1617, and if the moment it holds it, you are out, you know. And then you are out here. NQ, you also you watch out this 499 500 area. The moment you see a reaction, you are out like this, you know. Now the day is screwed up, you know, not here, but when you see the response down here again, that's where the day is screwed up. And that point onwards, no need to trade anymore, you know. Anyway you are supposed to take one trade, right? So then no trade, because then price will do back and forth and finally it will move like this, but in this process it will take all your profit of all of this, because you try to beat it long short, but it's not gonna go anywhere. So that is the situation. See here, yes, also look at it. 95 was a good area. First time it sliced through it, right? But usually we wait for a confirmation, right? So here you can see next bar came up, but you can go long right here, and you can target back this area, But when you see it's hesitating, right? That's where more screw up situation, So it's not worth to trade it, But when in this chop, but when price sliced through this, right? Now it not only went through this important 90 to 95, right? It also failed, rejected from here, and it went through this, and it went through 06 now, right? Completely. See, this is where you step in now. You don't have to trade this garbage, but here once it goes through like this, and if you are watching it at the time, I was outside, so I was not watching these things, otherwise I would have taken this trade. But this was a perfect trade, this was a first hour low, price sliced through it, pull back, that was your perfect shot, NQ, however, NQ at the same time was here, right? So NQ you cannot short, because this was NQ's rotational area, right? And it bounced from it, so you don't want to short NQ, but ES you can, So once NQ came down to here, you also cannot short because it's a blue line, right? Once NQ sliced through blue line, then little pullback here, you can see it actually. Oops, my blue line shifted, and where was it? 350, right? So when it like this, see this little pullback, you can short there, and then you can target one of this area, and once it hits it, right, it's a blue line, little blue line, dream number, another blue line, right? So there is a fair chance that NQ will get stuck here, some buyers will be there, So however, ES you can take a profit here at preferred buyers area, right? And when it slices through it on the way back up, you can short again here, right? So right here, and then you can, when it goes lower, you hold on to your trade, but when you see ping pong, you bail out, because of NQ, because now you can see NQ was ping ponging, right? Because of those buyers defending. So now there is no need to short here, First time you can short here, see here, first time you can short here, but when you see this, then no more shorts, no more long anyway you are not supposed to take now, because the buyers intraday change, right? Now only way you can trade is break below this, right? Break above this you don't want to trade, So but it didn't break below it, so there is no trade, That's how the day ended today, So that's how it is, So, and that be all for today. I'll see you tomorrow.